my favorite people. We're talking about two-step inequalities today. So two-step inequalities, we find the solution set just like a two-step equation, right? So let's dive in and see. So if I have 5x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 20, right? 5x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 20. All right, so remember, we always start on the side with the variable, but we're not going to move the variable yet. We're going to move the constant, the number on the same side with the variable that's not tied to the variable. So I'm going to start by adding 10 to both sides. I add 10 because that's the opposite of subtract 10. That goes away. Negative 10 plus 10 is now 0. So I bring down my 5x. I bring down the inequality sign, and 20 plus 10 is 30. Okay, cool. Step 1, done. I have one more step, though. So now I have 5x, or 5 times x, is greater than or equal to 30. Okay, well, the opposite of multiply is divide. So I'm going to divide each side by 5, by that coefficient. Remember, our job, isolate the variable. You always do the opposite. My variable stays, my inequality sign stays, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So there's my answer, right? There's my inequality. But now I have to graph it because that's the whole point, right? To graph the solution set. So I look and I have x is greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to start at 6. It has a line or equal to, so I close the circle. And if x is greater than, then I take my line to the right? Greater than to the right, less than to the left. And I could choose a number and plug in and check my work. Let's choose 10. 5 times 10 minus 10 is greater than or equal to 20. All right, 5 times 10 is 50. Minus 10 is 40. 40 is greater than or equal to 20. It's greater than 20. So, yep, my answer is correct. So sometimes it's nice to plug it in and check your work. All right, so let's look. Let's do one more. Uno más. All right, so let's say I have, whoopsie. All right, so let's say I have negative 3x plus 6 is less than 30. All right, I start on the side with the variable and I move the constant. The constant is right here. The opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. So I take that and go away. Negative 3x is now less than 30 minus 6 is 24. If you need help with your calculator, feel free. Doesn't bother me at all. All right, so I say, okay, now I have negative 3 times x. Okay, so multiplication is what's happening. The opposite is division. I divide each side by negative 3. That goes away. But remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative, your variable stays, but you have to flip the sign, right? So I divided by a negative, which means I flip the sign. So now 24 divided by negative 3 is negative 8. Okay, so I start at negative 8. I have no line, which means I open the circle, and x is greater than negative 8, which means I'm going to the right. Well, let's check our work. Let's check it with 0, right? Because that would be a part of the solution set. This one right here. So let's see, negative 3 times 0 plus 6 is less than 30. All right, negative 3 times 0 is 0. Plus 6, 0 plus 6 is 6. And 6 is less than 30, which means I graphed the correct way. All right, let me know if you have questions. Love ya. Bye.